With a good one here, as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. Now Watkins on the return. And able to get this out to the 25. This is Saquon Barkley. And that to the 30. It'll be second down. And see, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level. And sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
Second down, here's Barkley again. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Hurts to throw. And he will go down. The Cowboys sack. So still a scoreless game in the first, but they're going to go for this thing on their own side of the field on 4th down. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So on 4th down, out is Ryan Rico to punt. Call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll run. This is Jaden Blue. Powering his way forward. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's second down. The Cowboys at 3-7 now in the year. They've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Now, this defense for the Eagles very strong in that victory a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open.
Oh, that's in the double coverage and intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Eagles will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Now he'll tuck this and run. Give him 7 there in the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
73! 73!
Throwing is Hurts. He'll try and do this himself. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Ryan Rico now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said you lead the points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's trying to get into the top 5.
19, 18!
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. On this one, they need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer. 2nd and 9.
Ready! Craft all 80!
Operating from the gun. Rhodes. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. You look at this Eagle defense. And they've been excellent against the pass. The number 6 unit in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Able to hit his target lane. And they will rally and stop him short of the 1st down. They get him to the ground at the 26.
60 Bobcats! 60 Bobcats!
On 4th down, Rhodes. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one. But now playing here on Thursday night, do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Now Hurts going to shift him around a bit. From the 30 on 2nd down, Hurts. Now Hurts is going to do it himself. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football, and he's got a 1st.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Great, set. Hey, let's go. Trimmer.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And a good push there defensively as they stop him at the 48. Gain of just 1. These two teams had met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they are gunning for the sweep here in Dallas. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. They go play action with Hurts. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They start the drive with a give to Blue. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Operating from the gun. Rhodes. That's to the running back, Jaden Blue. They'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I had no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
Now 2nd and 3.
Come on, come on.
Looking to throw. Rhodes. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop it.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them. Maybe it'll slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
In motion, left goes Smith. From the gun, it's Hurts. It's Barkley once again bringing in the catch. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Philadelphia.
13 yards. Random Eagles 1st down.
Hurts. That one complete down the field to Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Devontae Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
His kick is good.
Elliott good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Now After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
35-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a first down. He finds his man, complete. That's Gomez. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And time to give some credit to the big fellas, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Trying to set up a screen for Blue. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
That is caught. And he has another first down as they get the ball down to the Eagles' 40. Back to throw again. And he'll throw this one away. But I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Come on. It's Buffalo 86, Hawk, 79 Broncos. Ready.
Again, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Gomez. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Okay, ready?
Facing some long odds here if they hope to convert as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. Off play action. Rhodes. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. And instead, it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just got to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Silver.
Hurts sets up to throw it. That's caught. Rolls with it. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for Philly. And even 40 yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
180, 180. Foul left, Yanni.
And he'll send the tight end in motion here. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. He'll drop to throw. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
70, ready.
They're going to get this outside. Oh, this could be a double pass. And this one nearly intercepted. That one might need to go back to the drawing board. Almost a disaster. And it winds up just an incomplete pass, though. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10.
They're on 31-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Pass to the right side, hauled in by Royals. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Tiger Hornet. 63, 63. And silver. Kyle left Yanni.
They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Roman. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's second down. Up the middle with Barkley. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Taking it about the 1. Gets around him. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Rhodes firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet.
Let's go now. Viking.
They'll try to run for it with Blue. And some room to run now. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level, because sometimes you'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. On the outlet, it's Lamb with a grab. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 33. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Rhodes. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Let's go. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Gets it underneath to Blue. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Ready. Cowboy.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Left side to Lamb. And the Cowboys are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from, working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Here we go. Go.
They'll try to run this one in. And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I thought they were onto something with their play call and kind of went in reverse a little bit. Threw it on 1st down, then ran it on 2nd down.
Come on.
Not successful either way. What play call do they come up with here?
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jaden Blue, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have cut it back within a score. Aubrey good with the PAT. And it's now 13-7.
Cowboys 7.
Boy, it's only a one-score game. 3rd quarter, mind you, but they're going to go for the onside kick right here. Hands team able to cover it up. I know they're down, but starting the 3rd quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen. Steal a possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there of 22.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Good. Set. On everyone up. Hey, easy. 63, back. Delta.
Barkley, inside handoff. And he's brought down, but he has it down to the 12 on a pickup of 12. 1st and 10.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Delta, set. Delta.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Roman. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are able to add on to that lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside. They give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards. And boy, did he come through, pulling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
106 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
Let's go now. Rocco 80. Let's go.
pressure.
Rhodes. Jordan Davis picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Rhodes. He's got the first down and more. But he's going to step out of bounds all the way down at the 20. A big play here for Dallas. 49 yards. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for first and 10.
19 Tiger.
Operating from the gun, Rhodes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The
passing windows are just not there. And that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Looking to throw. Rhodes. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Cowboys have got it back to within a score. The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So after the touchdown, Aubrey down to kick this one away. Escapes the defender. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Now he'll let it go deep right side.
Well, they have that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Running left, it's Barkley. He'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Hey, easy, 63, bad.
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
180.
Now a toss right to Barkley. And everyone on their assignment defensively there as he'll be taken down behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Here's Hurts to throw. That one behind his receiver and incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. And able to steer clear of that first tackler as he works his way forward for about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now 2nd and 5.
70, let's go now.
They go again with Blue. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
First down, they'll go to the ground attack. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. CeeDee Lamb is intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
3rd down and 1.
Bring money up to a whole nother level. Don't know no better. When I got rich and bro, coming slow, 6 racks on a sweater. Think I'm cheating, I'm just chilling with the fellas. Grandma always told me never trust these. Spit 60 racks on the camouflage bells. Diamonds on me, I'm a blue devil. Twin, thumbing hustle and grill. I'm nothing like them, I put paper over pleasure. I used to want to M, now I got sell. If it's about money, then you know it's with it. If it's about money, then you know I'm on.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Stephanie! Top to 60. 79.
On 3rd down, they run with Blue. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They end up getting stumped twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
On the jump.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Viking 18.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 17 yards on fourth. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Let's go. Ready.
On first down, it's Blue. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Got it. Ready?
Second and 10.
Come on. Come on. Hey. Six.
They'll try and run again with Blue. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Ready, ready.
The Cowboys on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. He throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help in big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
It's a gain of 23 yards. And an Eagle first down.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Hurts completing this one quickly. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now Hurts looking to change the play. On 3rd down, Barkley. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd.
But he picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia, and they were spurred on by